up about 5:36, and these are kind of like the magic hours as a dad if you want to get anything in. It's something I learned actually super quickly after I had kids, was if I wanted any sort of time to train, any sort of time for kind of myself, that the time was early. I'm training for my first ever marathon, November 15th, Queenstown. It's the first time I've ever actually focused in a running training block. And it's really fascinating. I'm usually kind of in the gym the majority of the week, but now I'm running 4 days a week. This week will be 33K, and really fun to notice the body kind of get used to the load of running. So I'm like 6 weeks in. Last week was a deload week, so I was down to like 20K, which felt like needed for the body. Saw the physio last week, got a little tune up. And this week we ramp it back up. The longest run this week is, I think, 18K is the plan. Like, underestimated the condition. So body's feeling really good. And it's fun to have something on the calendar to actually train towards and compete. We've been in Glenorchy for 7 years. We built our first little home about 2.5 years ago, and so the lap we're on right now is like my home 1 kilometer lap. And so depending on the time of day, I usually just loop this. And Jiwa is such a fun little community, so many young families, such an amazing spot for kids to grow up. Super safe, super outdoors focused. You don't have to look far to get into the mountains. And a good pace. I think that's the biggest thing around here is there's like this healthy pace of life that's not too slow, but also not too kind of hustle and bustle. I'm talking to you and running faster than I probably should be on the easy run. There's a piece in here for me of consistently finding that part of myself that can push, can get up at 5:30 a.m. and do something that I love, but that sometimes I don't necessarily want to do. Whether it's like get in the weight room or go for a run. And it really touches something in me of like a bit of resilience and a bit of like showing, like my son came down this morning, and for him to see me up before he's up, walking out the door for a run, I know that that's, the example is everything that we can be. So I love training. I love when the body feels good. I love just kind of noticing how even as the chronological age gets older, I feel like I'm getting in better and better fitness. Like I'm way more fit now at 33 than I was at 23, that's for sure. Good run.
Where we at?
We're about to enter the boardwalk. And I was thinking there as I was running, this juggle that I'm always feeling. I think a lot of people can relate, but it's like this juggle of family and training and business, and like there's one cup that seems to be overflowing, and I feel super privileged that it's like, you know, all these things that I love and I'm passionate about, but it's like, you know, is there enough time in the day, and am I excelling at each one of those avenues the way that I would like to be? And I often feel like I'm not. I often feel like I'm kind of slowly failing at everything. But what helps there is to kind of know that this morning I'm running, so focus on running. And when I'm with my family, focus with being on my family. And it's so easy to say, it's extremely difficult to achieve. But playing with that idea of doing one thing at a time, as simple as that sounds, it's quite profound. I think we do a short loop around the boardwalk, and then we're at 3K, so we'll be ready to be home soon. Long distance is feeling right where it should be, actually. Kind of 80% of the week is zone 2 cardio, like what we're doing now. You can have a conversation. It's pretty easy on the joints and the system because you're just running at a chill pace. And then you got 20% of the week where you're doing intervals or hill sprints, and that was a big unlock for me to learn that style of training and really put it into practice. I'm kind of slowly dialing in a goal for the marathon, never having run a marathon before. I think like the first goal is sub 4 hours, and so I've kind of been doing some of my race pace long runs at around that 5:30K mark, which turns into a sub 4 hour marathon. And then as I get into longer and longer runs, I'll see if I feel like I can sustain a faster pace or not. But I'm trying to also hold the goal of the marathon is just to enjoy it. Enjoy my first marathon. It's such a buzz in Queenstown. You got like 13,000 runners. Ellie's really excited. My daughter, she keeps talking about, she just calls it the finish line. So she has this event in her head sometime in the future, as any 4-year-old would, of the finish line. And she's excited to meet me there, so that'll be special. The launch of Circl really leads into that same feeling of really wanting to put something out into the world. And of course, Circl's a product company to really support people, like truly help someone feel better and have better energy and feel deeply hydrated and be a better dad and feel better physically, whether they're a runner, a swimmer, a hiker. And I feel like what an amazing time that we're living in, that you can bring something to market that is truly beneficial to someone's health, and that is trending positive right now. And I feel like we're just at such an amazing time to do something like this. So, you know, the wish is that we're supporting people, and I know there's just thousands of people in every community that are doing exactly what we're doing this morning, just getting up early with a full plate, with a busy life and children and family and work, but they're getting out there and they're training they're pushing the body, and they really just want something that is what it says it is. It's not full of BS. Everything's clean. The ingredients are actually supporting. So you can come out and do your run, feel recovered, and get on with your day. So it's exciting, and I feel really fortunate to be able to create something that helps people. The plane, the great Glenorchy plane. Just over 5K. We're gonna loop back towards the lakefront. Should be pretty magic this time of morning. And yeah, body's felt really good this morning. I've had a few days off, and pace is feeling good. So we'll loop back towards the lakefront. We'll check in there, and then we'll head back home. I'm sure wife and kids are up, and house is fully ramped up with toddlers. So we'll go check on that, have a coffee, have some breakfast, and get into the day. Well, it's trying to hone focus into one thing in the present moment on purpose, and slow things down enough to where the right decision or the right piece of creativity can come through. I think it's so easy for me to rush decisions, rush parts of the project to get things out, versus really pausing and taking just a moment to check in. And those tools of just a deep breath, or scanning the body, or soundboarding with a close friend, or Denny, is like, man, they cross over every part of the life. And the greatest mindfulness teacher are children. They give you a chance every single day to choose your response to highly triggering situations every day. So you get a lot of practice.
Have they inspired you on this journey of Circl?
Yeah, the most amazing part of my day is when Ellie or Riley ask for an electrolyte and say how yummy Hydrate Plus is. It's pretty beautiful. And it's like, you know, my real underlying drive is to provide a really abundant life for my kids and my family. Abundance of time and financially abundant, and abundance of presence with one another, so we can spend time with one another. So they're a huge motivation for everything I do. But also it's like, to be really proud of a product I'm bringing into the world is huge for me, because I know that they're looking at me for the example, and they're looking at me for what's right and wrong. So to stay really integral in the formulation of the products that we launch and how we interact with our customer base and the environment, and just always trying to do our best. I just know I got two sets of eyes watching very, very closely, and they're like little sponges, so they keep me in check, and it's really a blessing. We're almost touching 7K. We got a big cider this morning. Pushed our long run out, but feeling good. I'm really proud that this whole product is manufactured and packaged and distributed from within New Zealand. And these mountains literally birthed Circl. I mean, my time in the mountains, not only myself, but with people close to me, and doing our best to perform at our highest out there, is really where this thing came from. So it's really important to me that it stays grounded in this area. you know, the mind can be so turbulent and so full, especially when building business, and this environment gives the serenity. It gives the stableness. When you look at a mountain, the mountain is forever stable. The weather doesn't change it. The snow that falls on it doesn't change it. It is forever sort of rock solid. So I draw a lot of that from these mountains. And the access, I mean, the fact that in literally a 20-minute drive and a 5-minute walk, you can literally kind of be out in the middle of nowhere and access the forest and access the rivers. And those resets are like nothing else that exists to actually get out into nature. I think we take it for granted just how foundational it is for us to interact with water. Like living, you know, 2 blocks from this massive lake is it's just an easy reminder. And like, so as those mountains really kind of like hold that stability for me, it's like, you know, to not be too staunch, you gotta be fluid as well. Let things roll. Once I realized how good it felt to be actually hydrated, I was blown away by what I was missing. First of all, really good water, really clean water. Secondly, really good deep cellular hydration through electrolytes. Man, it was a game changer for me. Some people literally go, whoa, when they drink the product. It's like you can actually feel that there's something a little bit more happening there. So for me, it's it's a no-brainer that the Circl product map starts with performance hydration, because it's so foundational to how we are, whether we're performing like, you know, at a desk or on a run or in the water or as a father. And so some of the feedback we've been getting is like, you know, the afternoon headaches are gone. You know, while I'm working out, I feel like, you know, a boost in the musculature of my body. Recovery has been a huge one, and people being able to push harder consistently the next day. So Hydrate Plus, I started by developing the basics, performance doses of electrolytes with nothing you don't want. So no artificial sweeteners, no artificial fillers, none of the sort of nasties. I developed that quite quickly and then thought, well, okay, if I'm gonna be taking this every day, what else would I put in there to actually help me perform at a high level? And so then I added a full range of B vitamins, so that supports natural energy, a sort of maintenance dose of vitamin C and zinc, so you get this little immune support day by day, and then 2 amino acids, citrulline, malate, and taurine, and these amino acids help both with muscle performance as well as recovery. So then all of a sudden, with kind of my hydration, it turns into this full performance supplement. It's been quite profound for me, and honestly, you know, there's been some insecurity there in me about putting this product out into the world after I had been testing it and consuming it for 12 months before in product development, before the product was ever in someone's hands, besides my close friends and a few people I tested with. And so of course I was thinking, man, I love this product. It's making me feel amazing. It's making my close circles feel amazing. But putting it out there, you know, it's been this slow work of cracking through that insecurity and grounding into the real performance edge that this product's giving people. I feel like really strongly with Circl is that it's similar to having a child. It's like I've like birthed this thing into the world, and I want to support it, and I have an idea of what it is. Just like kind of I had an idea of like what my daughter might be like, but then I'm also interested in kind of like stepping back and being like, okay, Circl, what are you? Just like I'd be interested in like supporting my daughter and being like, well, what are you into? Do you like riding bikes or horses? One take of the kids saying like, hey, daddy, and stuff. Seven, 7, 7. Oh, buddy.
You fell off the couch.
I'm back. Hi.
How is it?
Good. Good. What's that? That's a mic. That's cool, huh? It's connected.
Daddy,
For me, post recently has been the way, and man, it just feels like it tops me back up. So yeah, kind of right after the run or right after the train has been where I've been using it most. We get a good mix, which is cool. Like we get a good mix of people. He loves it too. We get a good mix of people that use it kind of for a pre-workout, a good mix of people that are using it kind of intro workout, and a good mix that are like loving recovery. I know Danny kind of like rates it for recovery as well. And the kids, I think, rate it for the taste.
Yeah, it was so good.
Fresh goat's milk.
Yeah, fresh goat's milk. At times, fresh blueberries from the forest. It's so well.
You gotta get your food now, man.
Yeah, and there's more bread that is toasted and buttered already, so if you guys want. Annie, can I have a hug and a kiss, please?
what's that?
Can we have our hug and a kiss?
Let's.
Mwah. Mwah. You are so amazing!
Okay.
I love you.
You're
so amazing!
Let's go.
Bye.
To the car, love. We're off to Ms Wolly's, the local. We're gonna grab a coffee. This is this place actually really like kind of makes Glenorchy. Glenorchy wouldn't quite be what it is without Ms Wolly's, I don't think, personally. But I come here and do a lot of work actually. So they have like a semi-quiet side room that I get a lot of work done, and also come to socialize and things. But good coffee, good cabinet food. We'll have a good catch up here. Short drive too. Let's do it. Yeah. It's been like 7 years we've been in this area. We lived up at Utterhoff for a little bit.
7 years ago, okay.
Yeah. So you get to know everybody. What do you want, man?
Large cat.
Large cappuccino, please. And long black. And I'm gonna grab a thing of cream. For here, thanks.
What do you love about Ms Wolly's?
There's actually a local feel here. It's like you walk in the door and people know who you are, and but it also offers like a real kind of like tourist hub spot. So they've done something well where they've like found that balance. But like it's like a social spot, you know, like you'll run into people you know, and yeah, like I said, I don't think the town would be what it is without this spot. And you can actually like come here and get like a epic little souvenir, you know, that like speaks to GY.
What's going on here?
So my order is a long black with cream, right? But they don't do cream here, so I just buy a bottle of cream just for my like 1 scoop of cream every once in a while, and then because we're just in town, of course, then I just take the cream home and have cream at home. Oh, just that full fat, man. It's like, I've had quite the journey on going from, you know, sort of like no animal products to like really feeling that animal products are feeling like great in the body. And then just the combination of the caffeine with the full fat, it feels like it just mellows it out for me. I love coffee. 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I've always had an entrepreneurial mind on me, done a few different entrepreneurial ventures, but this idea of a hydration supplement came in quite strong, and then fizzled out. And like 6 months later, I kind of did like a tiny bit of early research, and then I don't know, like life got busy, and I self-doubted myself enough times to let it go. And then it was actually Denny who poked me about it, you know, maybe 6 or 12 months later, and said, hey, what about the hydration thing? You know, why don't you give that another nudge? And it's really, I needed that. I needed like a little kind of like elbow in the side, like, come on, that was a good idea. And so then I started really diving deep and doing it the right way. Like previously, I think I've done a lot of entrepreneurial ventures sort of like backwards. And what I mean by that is like, I think of an idea and the first thing I do is create a logo and print t-shirts. And it's like, I really, with Circl, it just started the right way around and dug into product and making sure that the product was really integral, really good, and know that the product will carry the rest of the vision. It's like I've been interacting with hydration supplements for quite a few years before then, and there was this really clear point where the supplement I was getting was a US made supplement, and they used to ship into Australia and New Zealand, and they stopped. And so then I basically was then unable to get what I wanted to get. And so I thought, oh, well, surely there's something local that fits that gap. And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find something that kind of ticked all the right boxes for me. And so that's really the seed. That's when I went, okay, well, if this doesn't exist, then I'll make it. The vision is that Circl has an ecosystem of products that support athletes from the moment they wake up till the moment they go to sleep, and you can kind of interact in this Circl ecosystem of products and be fully supported in your performance. And so foundationally, we've started with a performance hydration supplement. You know, in the next few steps, what we want to be going and doing is onboarding Circl athletes, real people that are really out in the trails, really out in the mountain bikes, really up the ski fields, like really doing the high performance activities in the area, and people that are excited to be part of building something. Because what I want to do is I want to build products around athletes. So instead of saying, I know exactly what every athlete needs and wants, I want top athletes surrounding me and saying, okay, hey, this next product in our suite, we're going to build X. Let's all get together and understand exactly what do you guys need, bring in my expertise in product development, and bring something to market that we know is tried, true, and tested by athletes. And I just really believe that this is the way to build out a suite of products, to really like get the input first instead of get the input second and then reiterate and change. It's like, let's just from the ground floor, like sort of collaborate together. So then that builds out both a suite of products, of course, but also builds out a community of people that are kind of carrying Circl with them. Yeah, this person is a real high performer, but a humble high performer. It's like the backyard athlete that has the capacity to hold on to real life responsibilities and capabilities, but is performing at a super high level. they're connected to their environment and they care about their community and about the environment that they live in physically. And at a baseline, they really care about what goes into their body. So they're like the person that like turns around the back of the label at everything that they are picking up in the supermarket and really understanding what's going in and prioritizing that. I think there's so many of us that are like that really care. Though not everyone would identify themselves as a high performance athlete, we're all performing on some stage. And we're all kind of striving to achieve or accomplish something. And that achieving or accomplish could be running 3Ks today instead of one that I did last week, or raising a really good kid, or growing a business. And so it's like all of this stuff actually goes into this umbrella of being a performer. And that's really where this idea of performance hydration sits in. It's like we're looking to kind of like take someone's dial of what they're performing on and kind of slightly crank it up and just support this bit of performing. And you are the one that decides where the goal is or what you're accomplishing. No one else goes, you are a performer, you're not. But our products are there to kind of like slowly encourage you to do a little bit, like kind of juice out a bit more of what you're already giving to life. Founder lifestyle, like I'm famous type of situation.
Don't
you know?
talk about anything too
Yeah,
serious. Just
yeah.
standing by this very serious caution sign on the grass.
Yeah, but like Jordan was saying the same thing. He was like, as he comes down here, he's like, maybe I shouldn't leave. Maybe I should just come back to Glenorchy. And so then like in the morning we got up at 5:30 and just like mostly just fly on the wall filming, but a few things too. I'll do that again, you know? And like, you know, so it's like turning on
filming you in your home.
Turning on the light, brushing my teeth, like, you know, getting like a t-shirt on, getting my watch on.
A toddler having a tantrum
Yeah,
on the floor.
and then, cause then we went like, cause then we left, actually just right before we left, Riley like came to the top of the stairs and was like, hey daddy, you know? Is this what you're thinking or no?
Yeah. Wrapping up the morning.
That's pretty much us. That's pretty classic Monday morning actually. It's like up early to get it in before the kids wake up, and then just home support dad mode, you know, getting the kids ready. Ellie's off to preschool, and then into some me time, and along the way basically just shared my inner thoughts out loud with all of you. So you know, we're building, it's fun. I'm as optimistic and positive as I've ever been about a project, and it's just so exciting to build a life in this rhythm that we have, where we're able to balance family and business and training and do the good work to get it all in. So yeah, lots to come for Circl. Really excited to have you involved and support your journey. So here we go.